Peace, love, and light, collective. Thank you so much for tuning in to Cusp of Roses Tarot for your full moon in Pisces chakra tune-in reading. I am super excited to bring this reading out to you all. Thank you so much for tuning in, for all of your likes, your comments, your shares, and subscriptions. They truly mean so much to me, and I am very, very grateful for all of that. Okay. Thank you guys. Yeah, for just helping me build such an awesome community here on YouTube. If you are new here to my channel, welcome. I'm very grateful to have you. Make sure you do hit that subscribe button, okay? You can come and join our family. We would love to have you here. And yeah, guys, we're just going to be tuning in to this full moon energy, seeing how it is working through our chakras. If you are new to the chakra system, you can check the description box below for a brief description of the 7 main chakras that govern the human form. Okay, they are the main 7 that we will be talking about today. So if you get a little lost or just need a little more background information regarding the chakras that do come out, make sure you check the description box, okay? If you also need some guidelines on how to interpret this reading, you can also find that in the description box below. All right. So I am just going to give a quick shuffle to all of these cards again. We are going to introduce the Black Moon astrology cards to our moon energy readings just to get a little bit of extra cosmic energy involved, see what's going on, okay? If you are new here, we do start off every single reading with a quick prayer and moment of gratitude, okay? You can engage in this moment of gratitude and prayer in a couple of different ways. You can pray along with me. You can say your own prayers, affirmations, and intentions, whatever you need to say, do, or practice to connect in and up with your higher self, your divine source, or your spiritual team. All right, or you can have a moment of silence. Whatever works best for you, go ahead and choose now, and then we will get started, okay? All right. Heavenly Father, Divine Mother, Holy Spirit, Ascended Masters of Light, my own divine ancestral council, and all archangels, thank you so much for being here with me and with the collective as a whole under this beautiful Pisces full moon. We are so grateful for this energy, and thank you for allowing us to commune and connect in this way under this energy, to understand ourselves better, to understand our growth and our ascension process better. We thank you so much, divine ancestors and archangels, for grounding us in our frequencies, for opening us up to the most important messages of love, healing, truth, light, and wisdom for the overall growth, prosperity, abundance, ascension, joy, and happiness of the collective. We thank you so much for all those beautiful messages, and we ask that you continue to guide us, continue to protect us, continue to cover us in your love, light, and mercy, to keep us in alignment not only with our destined path in this lifetime, but to also offer us opportunities of growth by meeting each moment every single day with grace, with gratitude, with understanding, with compassion, not only for ourselves, but for others, and with love, light, and wisdom where we can. We thank you so much for all of those opportunities for growth. And we ask that by honoring our light within and honoring you in this lifetime, that you will continue to guide us, continue to love us, and continue to protect us as we align ourselves and get on our destined path or fulfill our destiny in this lifetime. We thank you so much, divine ancestors, for that love and grace, and we pray it continues, and so it is. All right, let's go ahead and get into this. This Pisces full moon has me a very, 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 like, in Neptune. Like, I can't get away from Neptune's energy. I am just swept up in this, like, oceanic kind of flow and kind of vibe. So if I sound a little bit more mellowed out, that's why. A lot of you are going to be feeling the energy of Neptune a lot more intensely as we kind of go on from today. More than likely the most intense over the next 3 days. okay? But yeah, I'm getting a lot of sacral chakra energy, a lot of crown chakra and third eye energy, okay? A lot of opening up, a lot of clearing as well. So Piscean energy, the oldest kind of constellation or zodiac energy out of all 12, right? It's an energy that tends to deal with a lot of karma in life. I am getting this energy of clearing karma, whether that is from your heart chakra as well, from your sacral chakra, right? Maybe even from your third eye. Yeah, but you're getting a lot of downloads through the crown right now. So it's super important to find yourself or find time for just moments of integration, which is just rest, right? Taking the time to just kind of put your body in stillness. Allow your mind to go. Like, it's never the goal of meditation, right, to stop your thoughts. That's literally telling your brain to do something that it's wired, like not to do something that it's wired to do, but rather than just observe what you are thinking, right? Being the energy behind your thoughts as opposed to being the energy of your thoughts. For somebody out there, that's going to be very important to try to be aware of the times and the moments where you become your thoughts, and the times and the moments where you're able to kind of separate and take a step back and just witness your thoughts. For some of you, you're going to be coming into a deeper connection with that ability to detach, whether that's through mental energy. For a lot of you, it might even be emotionally, right? Some of you are dealing with coming into the awareness of just how much you embody your emotions. Yeah, it's just that sense of you're going to be more aware of literally how you embody emotion. So when you are feeling something, you tend to act in this way. When you are feeling this way, you kind of tend to do this, and that's going to be made very aware to you. So when Neptune in energy is pretty active, the veil of what is actually happening energetically within your physical world becomes very thin. And I think that a lot of you are going to be tapping into that deeper awareness of that cause and effect, right? Between your thoughts, your emotions, and your manifestations, that trinity. Okay? Yeah, this is going to be a big full moon for a lot of you. Some of you are going to be also coming into this sense of completion. Ooh, I got a big sigh of relief after that. Some of you guys have been fighting a very hard battle. For some of you, this might be a 12-year-long cycle you might have been on. Others of you, you're completing a 10-year cycle. Okay? And that completion's going to feel good. I do feel you coming out of the end of this full moon energy, really feeling like you've put something to rest, really feeling like you've put some sort of cycle lesson kind of in your bag, right? Like you've really conquered and learned something in order for you to move forward. So that's really beautiful. All right, let's go ahead and get into these cards. Oh, all right. We have Jupiter return. Yeah, definitely, like I said. 12-year cycle for some of you. Is it Jupiter that's on the... Yeah, I think Jupiter. If I'm wrong, please let me know in the comment section or in the chat if you know. But I believe Jupiter orbits, it takes 12 years for Jupiter to do a full orbit. So a lot of you are experiencing some sort of Jupiter return energy, similar to like a Saturn return, right? Where you do get some karma or some kind of rough patch. And that's not always rough for everybody, depending on the work you've done up to your Saturn return. But for a lot of you, this collective that I'm tapping into, this Jupiter return energy, where the benefits of all of the work that you have been putting in are going to start coming in. Jupiter is also connected to Piscean energy as well. So that's definitely very fitting. Very, very fitting, but it does feel very expansive. Whatever this Jupiter return energy is bringing in for you, it does feel like it's going to benefit you by expanding you beyond something, okay? We do have the vibration of 49, so 49 might mean something to you. Also, 13 might mean something to you, as well as 4, okay? Wow, we also have Virgo energy. Some of you may have Virgo in your chart. We are in Virgo season. Some of you may have a Virgo Jupiter placement, or Jupiter may be in Virgo. Okay, Virgo is all about analyzing, compartmentalizing, right? Observing, right? The virgin energy of the zodiac, right? Being very pure-hearted or very connected to the purity of the environment, the purity of someone's heart, the purity of someone's mind, the purity of someone's energy, the purity of your own environment, right? Even just the purity of soil. Some of you might even be tapping into some of that earth medicine energy, right? Where earth Gaia might be speaking to you, might be talking to you through your environment, right? And you might feel really connected to the purity of nature. For some of you, that is the benefit. For some of you, you do get to experience the abundance that nature kind of brings and can kind of show you because you've maybe taken the time to analyze it, right? You've taken the time to sit with nature. You've taken the time to absorb it. Others of you, this is an ability to, how can I say this? This is an ability to analyze pros and cons. And it's like, if you're, okay, for example, if you're presented with an opportunity, what's amplified for you now, or what's being solidified for you now through this Pisces full moon, okay, and this Jupiter return energy, is your ability to analyze risk. Yeah, you are going to be able to hone in on your ability to read, almost like reading the play, like reading a situation and being able to be like, that works for me, that doesn't work for me, this kind of is good, not really good. Like being able to do that. For some of you, either that's been a very hard thing for you to master up to this point, and so now you're going to get into that flow, or this is something that you are very good at and maybe had a bit of a hiatus from, maybe due to Jupiter's retrograde, and now as Jupiter is returning, okay? Yeah, this ability to analyze your surroundings, this ability to see the purest path, right? The path that's going to bring in the purest benefits for you, because this Jupiter return is about benefits. Virgo energy is also carrying the vibration of 18, which also could break down into a 9. So 18 or 9 might mean something to you, okay? Let's see if we got one more out of here. Thank you so much. Oh, yep, right away. Earth element stability. So some of you guys have a lot of earth in your chart. Yeah. And what this Pisces full moon is bringing in for you is a new ability or a new connectivity to the benefit of being able to deal with the material world very well, being very grounded, being able to sort out, sniff out, seek out stability, master stability in some sort of way. For some of you, your ability to analyze risk or to just analyze a situation or maybe even problem solve is a skill that you're going to be able to use to bring in stability, to bring about stability in some way. Okay? For others of you, you are just experiencing your Jupiter return, which is coming in under this Virgo energy. So yeah, for some of you, you're going to be experiencing a Jupiter return because Jupiter is going to be coming through Virgo or coming back to Virgo or doing some sort of trine, square aspect with Virgo that is going to stabilize your environment. So if some of you guys have been experiencing a lot of instability in your environment, just hang on tight, okay? That stability is coming in. I do have a feeling it might have a tower connected to it, okay? But we'll see in the tarot. But let's go ahead and pull your chakra oracles just to get a little bit deeper into this cosmic energy, okay? Earth element here. So you could also have a Taurus Jupiter placement. You could also have a Capricorn Jupiter placement, okay? But they are pulling me into a Earth placement with Jupiter, okay? So whether your Jupiter is in a Earth-ruled house, okay? Or you have a, yeah, it's either connected to an Earth-ruled house, or it's actually Jupiter's in a Earth sign in your natal chart. Wow, words. Okay. All right, let's look into these chakra oracles. Thank you so much, divine ancestors and archangels. Earth element also has a vibration of 38. Okay, so that's another 8 popping out. 38 breaking down into an 11. Okay, so 11 might mean something to you. 2 could also mean something to you. All right, thank you, divine ancestors and archangels. What chakras are being activated under this full moon? What chakras are being activated under this full moon? Okay, heart chakra, definitely perception, okay? Some of you, again, like I said, coming into a deeper awareness of your environment, coming into a deeper connectivity with your environment, okay? Earth energy. Analyzing nature. Yeah, you see how it's perception, right? It's all in how you see things. It's all in how you process things internally, right? It's all in the dialogue that you have with your mind. For some of you, you're going to be reaping the benefits of this level of perception that you've been able to maintain, withhold for a period of time, maybe during this, Jupiter retrograde. Yeah, this Jupiter return is definitely bringing in about a higher level of perception. And I love that it's from your heart space, right? So it's not perceiving through the third eye, right? So it's not about seeing beyond the veil. It's about being very present and very stable in the moment. Being able to perceive all that is in the moment, not after the fact, right? Not prior to it actually happening. Actually being in it and able to see with clear perception, right? Being able to feel out a situation from your heart space and perceive it accurately. I do feel like that is going to be a gift coming in for a lot of you, and I want to use the word gift because I do feel like it's been earned in some way. I do feel like it's been I feel like it's something that Jupiter is just blessing you with. It's bringing in that blessing of perception. I do feel like this ability to perceive openly and maybe accurately and honestly through your heart might be another skill that you might be able to hone in on, build, and expand, okay? We also have root chakra here with complacency, okay? Interesting energy though, because if you can see the environment around this woman, right? Again, energy is not gender specific, so don't get caught up on that. But the nature around her is a bear, right? Barren. The nature around her, very flourishing, very green, very abundant, right? So your perception through your eyes, you can look at maybe a desolate situation and see how it can grow, see how it can expand, see how it can flourish, right? Seeing what you need to weed out or prune in order for that abundance, that lushness to come back. So I do feel like this is your ability to perceive good, even in a more desolate situation, right? Being able to see the oasis in the desert, that type of energy. Yeah. Realizing that maybe there is something in your environment that you've been very complacent with, right? And the only reason why you maybe have been complacent with your environment is because you might have lacked perception. Still kind of tied to some sort of old something, whether that's an old mentality, an old ideal, right? And outdated is a better word. Yeah, some of you are realizing that an outdated mentality has gotten you to this complacent point, and that there's a need to open up your heart chakra and perceive, right? And to, it's that energy of making lemons out of lemonade a little bit, right? Not allowing this complacency to make you give up hope on your ability to be abundant. And speaking of abundance, you got that right here in the solar plexus. Stability. Wow, right on top of stability as well. I do feel like for some of you, there is definitely some like earth energy. Gaia is really behind you. Gaia, she just keeps coming up in this reading. Some of you might be really, really tethered and connected to the earth, like geo empaths. Like if you're somebody who travels a lot and depending on where you are, your energy will fluctuate, that might be a sign that you're a geo empath, right? That your environment, your tether, your anchor to the earth is very sensitive to where you are. I feel like that's going to be coming online for a lot of people. They are going to get very, very sensitive to their environment. And I do feel like it has something to do with this pandemic, right? Having to be on lockdown, having to be isolated, having to stay within. It really might have forced a lot of you guys to analyze your surroundings for once. So maybe, yeah, if you are somebody that traveled a lot prior to this pandemic, right? It was a little more difficult to really get a clear perception on your surroundings or how complacent you might have been in your surroundings because you were kind of rarely there. But now that the pandemic has happened and quarantine is real, right? And you've been maybe forced to spend more time in your home environment or in your rooted, grounded, because this is the root chakra here with complacency, in whatever foundation you have built. The more time you spent in that foundation, it's like the more you saw and analyzed, okay, yeah, this is still operating on like an old energy, right? You maybe realize that you've outgrown your environment in some way. And that the only reason maybe why this environment has been able to kind of go on is because of some sort of complacency within you, right? Yeah. Almost feeling like this is as good as it could get. But then, yeah, it's like something about that. Feeling like it was good and you were good where you were, but then having this pandemic happen and then really getting into, oh no, I've been living in complacency. This isn't actually what I'm perceiving and wanting out of my heart chakra. This isn't necessarily the abundance I'm looking for, because this abundance card does also have that vibration or undertone of perception, right? The story here is that this man drops a coin down a drain, right? Freaks out, gets really sad. I think in the book it says that it's his last coin or something of that matter, right? And so rather than try to figure out a way to get the coin from down there, he just goes to the bar, grabs a drink, and sits in the sorrow of the loss, right? And then there's this child that comes along, puts some gum on a string, dips that gum and string down that drain, and picks the coin out. Just like that. Right? So it's also this sense of innovation, right? Are you operating out of like an old, jaded, worn down version of your spirit, or are you getting in tune with your inner child, right? Are you operating out of your mask, out of your wounds, right? Out of your guards? Or are you allowing yourself to be open and vulnerable to creative energy, to innovate ways of gathering more abundance? Because once she picks up that one coin, she keeps going back and there's more, right? So this guy wasn't the first guy to lose a coin down that drain in that way, but this child reaps the benefit, right, of all that work, of everything that was just kind of left. So when this person gives up, this child doesn't, right? So I do feel like there's this energy of determination. And I think whether or not you're operating out of this childlike wonder, right, where anything is possible as long as you can be creative, or are you operating out of this more societal, adult construct in the way of, well, there's no way to do it. It's never been done, so I'm not going to try. Do you know what I mean? It's that kind of energy. And I feel like what you're perceiving and what you're understanding is that innocent, childlike energy has been missing from your environment. That you might have been very complacent with carrying out this old programming, right? The societal programming. For some of you, that's what it truly is. Realizing that you've been complacent, carrying out old programming, and needing to perceive more with a childlike heart. Needing to incorporate a little bit more innocence or get back in tune with some sort of innocence within you in order to unlock stability and your abundance. Wow. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. All right, let's dig a little deeper here with the Chakra Wisdom Tarot, and then we will pull a Work Your Light Oracle, and that will be our reading for tonight, okay? Thank you guys again for being here. Truly appreciate it. All right, let's get into this. Oh my goodness. Okay, Knight of Cups. Knight of Cups. Interesting. Sorry, guys. My hands, as you know, are kind of small. All right. So shuffling like that gets a little hard. King of Cups. Okay, so definitely dealing with some water energy here. Wow. Definitely dealing with some water energy. 8 of Wands. All right. Divine ancestors and archangels, thank you so much for giving us these messages. Wow. What do we need to know about perception? Okay. What do we need to know about perception? First card out is 10 of Swords. That's pretty strong energy for your first card out. This is Gemini energy. You could have Gemini in your chart. Okay. Gemini season could have been a season that kind of started this new awareness, this new perception, okay? This is the solar plexus as well. So there's definitely something in your life force energy, right? Something in your mind and in your gut, okay, that is no longer running, again, that old programming. Yeah, with abundance. It's that old programming. Those old thoughts of, oh, woe is me. I can't make a way. It's never been done, so why even try? Like all of that, right? Allowing unfortunate events to cause instability and for you to just sit in that instability, right? As opposed to getting creative and figuring out how to move through it. Okay, we also have the 2 of Coins with perception. Again, yeah, so speaking to what I'm saying, right? And into the thought of you not having options or you not being able to get creative, sacral chakra energy, right? With your path, with your investments, with your stability. So for some of you, this has been, and I'm just going to say this, I feel like for some of you, you might have been willing, like hardcore willing something to happen. I do feel like this might be in the realm of career. For some of you, this could be, again, applied to your life however you see fit. You might be willing something to happen. Okay? And it's almost like it was either one way or no way. Okay? And I do feel like you're opening up your heart chakra a little bit to see that there are multiple ways to go about this. Or there's many different ways that you can create this path. It's not a one size fits all. And I do feel like that is the benefit of Jupiter energy. It comes in, Jupiter comes in and expands you, right? Jupiter will not let you play small. That's one thing I absolutely love about Jupiter energy. It does not allow anyone to play it small or safe. It's like go big or go home, right? Take the risk or sit down. Like that's kind of Jupiter's energy. And to not take the risk with Jupiter is to completely ignore its expansiveness, to completely ignore the abundance and the weight that Jupiter holds. So I do feel like you are waking up to that perception and that understanding of how Jupiter energy maybe has been working in your life, and you're kind of surrendering to it. Ten of Swords is all about a surrender. Surrendering to the fact that it is within your grasp and within your realm of possibility to create a new path, right? To balance things out, to open up this new door. Because if you could see, the ship in the background is kind of dark and shadowed and overcasted, right? The ship here through the doorway has that sun behind it. So with these two pentacles, with the Two of Pentacles generally and typically being more of a juggling act card, right? Keeping things imbalanced. Managing multiple things at once. Yeah, for some of you, this is exactly what that is. Maybe you've thought, oh, well, I can't handle more than one job, or I can't handle more than one project, or I can't handle, more than one business, something like that. And that perception of that limit that you put on yourself, that's kind of peeling off. And you're realizing, oh yeah, I can't do this, right? I have the creative power to do so. What else we got? Yeah, the Tower. Did I not say that Tower was coming in? So this is definitely a Tower moment for a lot of you guys. Realizing the power, not only of Jupiter, but just of perception. That it really is, the world is truly what you paint it in your mind. And that you have control over those thoughts. You have control over how you allow your brain to process things. And it's hard work to rewire, but it's so worth it. Right? So again, this Tower energy, and Tower energy isn't bad, okay? Towers are actually awesome and really good because you want those false foundations to come down. You want those towers that were built out of fear. You want those walls, those kingdoms, those foundations built on fear to crumble, because they were going to crumble anyway, right? The more you became aware of just how great and how expansive your energy is, the weaker those foundations were going to be. So if the divine is coming in to crumble it now, and let's say for some of you, this is crumbling before it really could even really build somewhere, then trust that and surrender to that, right? The Tower is all about enlightenment, quick and fast enlightenment that does not come from you. It comes from source. The divine intervention, basically, right? So definitely Jupiter's coming in to bring in some sort of divine intervention here. I do feel like it is around your sense of capacity, your sense of capability, right? That solar plexus energy, because you have both of that here. Your will, your energy, that eternal sun, that power to move forward, that strength to move forward, right? Yeah, more sacral chakra energy. So really what is coming down is it's this sense of worry, unnecessary stress, unnecessary guilt, unnecessary shame. For some of you, managing or taking on something else or moving into a new path with this Two of Coins could bring about some feelings of shame or guilt because you might be leaving something behind. This could even just be mourning the thoughts, right? Mourning the things that you were taught for so long that felt almost like a part of who you were, and having to almost have a funeral for those parts of yourself, right? And leaving that behind, right? Because those versions of you aren't going to be able to be open and expand with this Jupiter energy. So there needs to be a surrender of those old parts, those old thoughts. There needs to be a crumbling down in order for this pathway forward to be clear. I do sense that, like I was saying with this ship that's kind of casted in that shadow, this might be that shadow. Whatever you are connected to now, whatever path you're on now, whatever foundation you're building now or standing on now, was kind of built out of anxiety for some of you. And that is based in fear, right? There's a worry there. For some of you, it was built on a lack of self-confidence, because you do have a lot of solar plexus energy here. Others of you, this is just self-doubt, doubting your ability to be creative, doubting your ability to create a new way, create some sort of pathway. Others of you, I am definitely getting that there is this energy of being tired and exhausted. Just like not knowing if you actually have enough energy to push forward, right? Because you do have the Ten of Swords here. But I do feel like overall, though, for this group, you are going to come out of that. You are going to push forward and find that strength. Again, I wouldn't be surprised if the Strength card comes out for complacency, but let's see. Yeah, what's the overall for perception, Divine? Thank you so much. What's the overall energy that we need to know for perception? World. Completion. Ending a cycle. Learning something, right? Mastering a soul lesson. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful, collective. This is gorgeous energy. So this newfound perception, this ability to perceive accurately through your heart space is coming after a lot of anxiety, a lot of surrender, and a lot of towers. And a lot of management of your time, management of your energy with this Two of Coins. Keeping the idea, keeping the thought, keeping the energy of something new, of desiring something new alive, even though, right, maybe what you were tied to, maybe what you truly did want was crumbling. But ultimately, this Tower energy, this Ten of Swords, this Nine of Swords, all came in to usher in the completion of this soul lesson. So with this World card, this is being in full alignment through all 7 chakras. So this Jupiter return energy is bringing in a high level of alignment for you that's going to help you perceive more clearly and accurately through your heart space. That's beautiful. Beautiful and well-deserved is what I want to say. Beautiful and well-deserved. All right, thank you so much, Divine Ancestors and Archangels. What does the collective need to know about complacency? What do we need to know about the energy of complacency for this full moon? Okay. I think those were it. All right, so that Nine of Cups came out again. Some of you could have been very complacent with being like not committed to your environment, maybe being not committed to a situation. This could even just not being committed to yourself. But all right, let's get into this. What do we have? What do we have? What do we have? What did I just poke up? Is this it? Okay, yeah, so let's start here. Complacency. I feel like this is the overall. All right, so we have the Knight of Cups. Okay. This is communication in the throat chakra. So for some of you, this could definitely been the energy of, you know, I think I am okay with just kind of flirting for a while, right? Not being too serious about anything, not, you know, being committed to anything, kind of coming in for the good feels, for the laugh, for the good energy, and then bouncing out, right? That's also being paired with the Magician energy, more sacral chakra energy, okay? So I definitely was feeling that sacral chakra for a reason earlier. This Magician energy is giving me this feel of, for some of you, yeah, oh goodness. Okay, so this is root chakra. So this is dealing with your security. This is dealing with your sense of groundedness, right? Your sense of safety within yourself, within your environment. I am getting this kind of romantic, emotional energy where maybe for some of you, you might have been analyzing your past relationships with this Knight of Cups and the Magician. Maybe analyzing how your relationships have come about. And realizing that you've maybe been only open to or very complacent with the type of energy you were attracting romantically. Almost in that sense of, well, if I'm only going to get the, partners who just want to be here for a good time and that's about it, then okay, I guess that's just what it is, right? That sense of complacency and just settling for what you are bringing in, what you are manifesting. Maybe even doing some analytical work too around how you went about manifesting this, or again, how it came about, and maybe realizing what tools were missing. Right? Maybe that cup could have been a little cleaner, right? Maybe that pentacle needed to be shined up a little bit. Maybe that sword needed to be sharpened, right? Maybe that wand needed to be, filled with something else. I'm not sure, right? Soaked in the sun for a little bit longer. However you use that wand, whatever you need to do with it, right? So it does feel like there was this analyzing of the past relationships, past connections. I also feel like for some of you, this Knight of Cups energy can be that kind of dreamy type of thing where maybe you might have attracted in a lot of partners who kind of sell you a dream with that Magician and the Knight of Cups. They're very good at painting a picture for you, right? Or feeding you this energy of creation, right? That, oh, I'm coming in, I'm going to give you whatever you like, or I'm going to be whatever you need, that type of thing, right? Realizing the game of that, right? And I think for a lot of you, you fell very hard for those dreams, right? Because I don't think that you had the either you didn't have the experience yet, or this Magician energy was just that good at masking the true intentions with that offer, with that Knight of Cups, right? So for some of you, you saw the Knight of Cups coming in, hoping and wishing, thinking, believing that the Knight of Cups was going to stay, right? Because that's what the Knight of Cups will say. That's what they'll do. They'll make you feel good. They'll make you feel, this and that. But there was definitely some trickster kind of illusionary energy there. So I do feel like part of the collective is very aware that that is what they manifest, right? Maybe as a Magician energy, you're very aware that you do attract Knight of Cups energy, those that just kind of want to, enjoy and indulge in the love and the emotion of it all and the feelings of it all. Maybe you're an energy that feels really good for others. And so it's like you maybe got complacent with, okay, again, this Knight of Cups energy is what I attract. So that's all it'll be. Same thing kind of with that abundance card, right? Well, that was all I could do. It fell down there. There's nothing I can really do to create something new. Child goes and figures it out in a couple minutes, right? Same thing here with the complacency. Well, this is just how it is. This is what it is. It's never going to change. When actuality, right, you have the Seven of Wands here coming out, standing in your power, standing your ground, claiming your confidence, and you have the Emperor. Okay, more throat chakra energy. Communicating what you want, communicating your needs, taking charge, taking control of a situation, right? Bringing in stability. There's another energy of stability here. Yeah, I feel like, whoever I'm connecting with now, I feel like with this complacent energy, it's like, yeah, you've done the review. You've analyzed your relationships and realized you were dealing with a lot of tricksters, right? Dealing with a lot of illusions, falling for a lot of illusions. But I feel like what's changing now, there is a change happening. You're realizing what you need to do in order to actually attract an Emperor. So for some of you, you might have been this Knight of Cups energy, right? Very quick to offer your emotion, very quick to go for the good feeling moments, to just feeding and thriving off the good feeling, not necessarily looking at the full picture with the Magician, right? Not accounting for all of the elements, only maybe focused on the love, maybe only focused on the cup, the emotions of it all. And now you're stepping into this Seven of Wands energy, knowing your power, claiming your personal power, understanding your strength, fighting for what you want, not giving up on what you want, right? And I feel like by stepping into that Seven of Wands energy, you now have the Emperor energy to play with, right? Or now you're open for an Emperor energy. Now with Emperor energy doesn't necessarily have a lot of time for games, right? Emperor is a really kind of like a no-nonsense type of vibe. Very, very leadership-oriented, very action-oriented, very communicative, right? The Emperor does not hesitate to delegate. The Emperor can also be a little headstrong and a little self-focused and a little selfish. Okay? But I'm not getting that in a sense of like a negative way. I do feel like they just value their time. They value their space. They know what they bring to the table, so they don't really entertain anything that doesn't match that, right? I do feel like this is also a new sense of control for some of you. You have the King of Wands kind of crowning the entire spread here for complacency. More crown chakra energy to match the Seven of Wands. Yeah, so for some of you, okay, thank you. Now I'm getting kind of the whole picture here. For a lot of you, actually, you were the Magician and the Knight of Cups. You were very complacent with being the Magician, being the Knight of Cups, right? Kind of spinning these webs, just kind of going with the moment, doing what you needed to do to kind of get that cup across, to feel that good feeling, and then kind of be out, right? And I do feel like what you realized is that being in that Knight of Cups energy and in that Magician energy for a long period of time, you kind of lose a sense of yourself, right? You lose a sense of your personal power because you're constantly sharing your power with other people, right? And you're not staying around enough to get the return, or the return isn't a full match to what you actually give. And so with this King of Wands energy, it is mastering that sense of intuitive guidance, mastering that that sense of attunement and leadership and obedience almost to your spirit. So when your spirit says move, you move. Yeah, with the King of Wands, as soon as the King of Wands gets a vibe that's off, King of talks about it, right? He's thinking about it. He's consulting about it. He trusts his instincts. This is a king who has a very, very high level of instinctual accuracy. They will read you to filth, right? You can't get anything past the King of Wands energetically. Meaning, you could say something nice, but if your energy ain't matching that, it's a no-go, right? Or you say nothing at all and let your energy speak for it, and the King of Wands is going to pick up on that. So there does need to be a deeper level of discernment energetically when it comes to your relationships. And I think you've done the analytical work to figure that out. Maybe Virgo season is kind of where all of that analysis is coming in for you, where you're realizing, oh, right, being the Magician and the Knight of Cups doesn't really get me longevity. It doesn't really get me a sense of stability. It doesn't really bring me into a groundedness. It kind of keeps me flighty. It keeps me unsettled. And I do feel like there is this kind of deep intuitive feeling and intuitive knowing that you're coming into a season of grounding for this group. And so you are going to step out of that complacent energy with that Magician and Knight of Cups. Reclaim your personal power with the Seven of Wands and step into your Emperor energy. If you haven't checked out our daily for today, the Emperor, I believe, came out as well. So that might hold some more messages for you if you want a little bit more detail. Okay. But yeah, you're mastering your instincts. You're mastering your intuition. Okay. Using that instinctual guidance for the good, right? For your good. And the good of all. That's exactly how that King of Wands gets the crown, right? It's not a Knight of Wands where I'm just using my instinct for my own pleasure and my own gratification and my own benefit. right? Now I'm using my power. Now I'm using that instinctual gift to help lead. And that's that last king for some of you that you needed to master to get to this emperor energy. Awesome. All right, let's look into this last card. Where are we at? 51. Oh boy, I have been talking. Thank you guys so much for hanging in here. Divine ancestors and archangels, what do we need to know about abundance under this full moon? All right, King of Swords coming right over here to the world energy. So this might have been another king that you needed to master as well to get to that emperor energy. Yeah, with perception for sure. So again, the 10 of Swords, the 9 of Swords, and then the King of Swords here, you had to master your mind. You had to master your thoughts. Like I said earlier, that trinity between your thoughts, your emotions, and your manifestations, coming into a deeper awareness and alignment of how that works, right? Okay. So yeah, you master that. You step into your King of Swords energy. You become very decisive around what you want, right? You become very passionate about your truth. Not only thinking authentically from your truth, but speaking authentically from your truth, leading authentically from your truth. And what does that bring in? The 10 of Pentacles. So you have stability underneath abundance, underneath the 10 of Pentacles. That can't get any clearer. More solar plexus energy, right? So for some of you, there has been a little bit of question, maybe even a little bit of concern of, well, has this Knight of Cups magician energy maybe put me far off or too far off from my version of the 10 of Coins, which 10 of Coins is all about that material stability, your material wealth, right? Having the family, having the home, having the longevity, right? Having the wealth, having the abundance. I'm seeing a lot of financial stability for a lot of you, okay? It's definitely coming in, so don't doubt that. Don't doubt that. Like I said, I do feel like Virgo season might be a grounding season for you. Bringing in that sense of stability so that the more you surrender to that grounding energy, the quicker the stability can kind of come in. The more you fight it, the more you're going to experience that tower energy. Okay? Yeah. Some of you are going to fight it. Some of you are definitely going to fight it, and you're just going to keep getting more towers until you learn this lesson. Until you learn how to surrender, you're going to keep getting tower after tower after tower after tower after tower. Okay? We're in that season as a collective. Yeah, we're that type of karmic lesson, those that return energy. Speaking of return, Jupiter return, like I said, Jupiter is not the energy to play around with or play small with. And not surrendering, maintaining those old programs is playing small. And Jupiter is going to continue to cause the tower until you see yourself as someone who can create and manifest from a very large and grand scale. Okay? What else do we need to know about abundance and stability underneath this full moon? Okay. Cards are going to have to stop falling on the ground. Okay. Ooh, all right. So we do have a pair on the board. We have the Queen of Wands now. Third eye energy. For some of you, there is a partner here connected to this 10 of Coins, connected to this abundance, connected to this stability. You might be meeting somebody that is going to bring in a lot of stability for you. Yeah, I mean, I like the King of Swords and the Queen of Wands together. Even though we do have a King of Wands out, so technically they would be the same element, right? A pair in that way. But this is a cusp channel, right? We have both dynamics, different dynamics, opposing dynamics that we work with. So this King of Swords, this air energy and that fire energy. I just feel like it's really going to work well together, because where the King of Swords can be very decisive, very clear-headed and thoughtful, right? And just kind of strategize, the more energy the Queen of Wands can kind of build underneath that and feed into that, right? Because as Queen energy, feminine energy is magnetic. So it's like as the King of Swords takes action that clears the path, the Queen of Wands can magnetize the abundance out of those clear paths, right? Can maximize the abundance. Interesting. Anything else we need to know about abundance and stability under this full moon, divine ancestors? Ace of Coins. Wow. Yeah, definitely check out that daily reading, because we have the Ace of Coins in there to do in there as well for today. So not only do you get the 10 of Coins, you get the Ace of Coins. So this is, and it's in the root chakra energy, right? So new stability, new security, a new seed to plant, right? A new beginning, really, a new, really like a new start. For some of you, this is like a whole new life. Yeah, for some of you, going from this kind of played out programming of how you should be as an adult, what you are capable of doing, what you can and cannot do, right? This is living out of limitations. This is living with no limitations, basically, regardless of the adult and the child reference. So that stability that comes in, again, like I said, comes from you mastering your thoughts over here with perception, right? The 10 of Swords, the 9 of Swords, and the Tower. Understanding that how you think about yourself, how you limit yourself, right? What you say and think you can and cannot do really will manifest into what you can and cannot do, right? So if you do desire this 10 of Coins, you do desire this sort of longevity, this legacy, right? For a lot of you, this is building legacy. Yeah, I just feel like there's a Queen of Wands here that's going to offer this Ace of Coins, or that comes along with this Ace of Coins offer, this new beginning. And from this Ace of Coins, you'll be able to build and maintain and have and sustain the 10 of Coins. Yeah. So it's almost like there's the new beginning of something new, something that actually does build a legacy of stability and abundance, not only for you, but for generations to come, I definitely feel. All right, let's grab one more. What's the overall for abundance under this full moon, divine ancestors and archangels? Wow, 5 of Coins. Yeah. Coming out of that poverty consciousness, coming out of that lack mentality, coming out of that feeling of being disconnected for some of you. Again, like I said, that complacent energy, feeling like, oh, well, I guess I'll just be, this Knight of Cups and this Magician forever. I'm okay with that. Knowing good darn and well you're not. Knowing good darn and well that you are not okay with that, but it's what you'll tell yourself if you don't believe that there is a possibility or a pathway for your true happiness, for your real abundance, right? For what you truly do desire. All right, let's go ahead and check in with the Work Your Light oracles just to see what we can think about for the next 2 weeks under this full moon. Thank you so much, Divine Ancestor, for this beautiful chakra spread for the collective. What does the collective need to know about this full moon energy or this spread? What does the collective need to know about this full moon energy or this spread? Thank you. All right, so first card out and up is the Crumbling, Mirror of the Tower energy. Okay, this says, what are you clinging on to? Like I said, for those that are fighting the surrender, right? For those that are not surrendering with that 10 of Swords and the 9 of Swords, not letting go of the anxiety, still trying to force the will, still trying to fight the process, it's a real need to analyze, why are you clinging on to the old? What is it about the old way of being, the old way of living, the old way of thinking, right? The old way of experiencing that still feels right for you in the now moment? Because there's a lot of change here. There's a lot of shifting here. So if you are still holding on to something, really look into why you're holding on to it, what about it maybe brings you that sense of security. And is that sense of security real and rooted in love, or is that sense of security rooted in fear? For a lot of you, most of you, majority all of you, it's going to be rooted in fear like we were saying earlier, okay? Keepers of the earth, okay? You are not alone. Ancient ancestors stand beside you, okay? So that complacent energy, right? Even with this Jupiter return, I feel it's that understanding that there is a force here working for your greater good. Whether you want to recognize it or not, whether it feels nice and sunny and good or not, it is working for your highest good. So this is needing to get a little more comfortable with being uncomfortable, right? And trusting that when you are uncomfortable, it's all for a purpose. You're not alone in being uncomfortable. And that there is a divine force working on your behalf, kind of pushing you towards your destiny, right? Pushing you out of complacency. For a lot of you, completely forgot. For a lot of you, this is that connection to the earth I was picking up on earlier in the reading, where your sensitivity to your environment is going to be very crucial to your health. And I mean that quite literally, as in some of you are geo-empaths, where being around a certain soil, being amid certain trees kind of throws your energy off or alters your energy in some sort of way. So now the work is finding the area that actually feels good for you energetically. So you are becoming more aware of your geo-empath capabilities and powers. And it's important for you to be aware of that, because we need geo-empaths in order to ground in and regulate those energy spots, right? Those meridians. So your ancestors are here guiding you to that. So as long as you open up and surrender to them, that shouldn't be a problem, okay? Ooh, I like this one. You got dance. Do something to shift your vibration. Yeah, so move your body. Move around. Move. They just keep saying move. Some of you, this might be a physical move, like an actual moving. Because the Ace of Coins can also mean moving to a new city, moving to a new location, relocation. Others of you, this is a need to get out of that stagnancy. Again, fighting the transformation. The divine is inviting you to dance with this new identity, dance with this new energy, dance with this new opportunity that this Jupiter return is bringing to you. And that the more you flow and move, right, the more you go with the flow, the more you allow the energy to kind of move through your body and move your body, the easier this tower moment, the easier this completion with the world, the easier this whole transition is going to be for you. So this is a need to learn how to be a little bit more fluid in your approach to things and a little bit more flexible in how you're learning lessons. For some of you, that's big. Some of you do not like how you've been learning lessons with this tower energy, but it's necessary, right? For you to realize your destiny in this lifetime, okay? You're here to do work for your ancestors. You're here to complete some work that your ancestors were doing when they were earthbound, right? Or earthside. So you're not alone in this path. You're not alone in having to transform from the Knight of Cups and the Magician, right, to a King of Wands and an Emperor. You're not alone in that transition, okay? Ooh, yeah, speaking of ancient ancestors, Pleiades, double mission, channeling and uplifting humanity. Okay, so some of you might have Palladian blood, Palladian star ancestry. Okay. Again, when you do step into that King of Wands energy, like I said, the King of Wands instinctively knows what to do. They have mastered moving according to their intuition. So for some of you, it's understanding you are a keeper of this earth, that you need to hone in on your skills intuitively, okay, and lead with those intuitive skills. Because you're going to be channeled, because this is crown chakra energy with the King of Wands. You are going to be channeled information that's going to be important to relay or to share, right? Or important for this whole earth ascension that we're in the middle of. Okay, so again, stepping into a double mission, realizing that there might be more than more to your mission in life than what you are doing now. Okay. Beautiful. Well, all right, collective, this is our chakra tune in for the full moon in Pisces. I hope you found it helpful, insightful, filled with confirmation for whatever you may have going on currently in your life. If you did enjoy this reading, please give me a thumbs up, all right? Make sure you check out all of our other live readings as well. And again, for this group, check out that today's daily. I'm going to link it in the description box below, okay? Or maybe in the comment section. I'll probably pin it. But thank you guys for being here. I truly appreciate it. And I hope to see you all in our next reading, all right? Namaste.